We're gonna try it again. I'm gonna try get it all in one more time because I just done a 12-minute recording there and listening to it back, and I'm like, I didn't quite get that one right, and I didn't quite get that right either, and my times are all messed up because um I was trying to like cram so much into such a short video where I could have probably spoke for 30 minutes instead of cutting it to 12 minutes. So I'm going to try and start again, try still keep the authenticity to the whole thing. um I'm just spitballing with this video like I did with the first recording. So what is this video? This video is me trying to introduce myself back into content once again. So this is sort of like the return of Bappercat 2025, essentially. But I kind of want to take us back. Maybe we'll go like 5 years. The first video there that I recorded, I didn't really set something in stone at the beginning of the video for me to keep the keep the ball rolling. As such, I was just all over the place. It was a good, it was actually a good tech. I'll probably keep it, and um, it'll be like something I can have as a wee time capsule. Like this was when I tried getting back into the content, and this was my first tech, and I think I was a wee bit nervous too. I'm still nervous doing these types of videos because it's been so long. I mean, it's been about 14 years since I actually sat down in front of a camera like this and just talked. And yeah, so where am I going to go from here now? So yeah, um, what's going on? It's Bappercat. What's good? Um, this is my, like I said, this is my video trying to bring myself into content side. I had done a bit of streaming there within the last 5 years. Um, got my Twitch. I mean, I gathered up a little bit of a following on Twitch, a little bit. I mean, I didn't quite hit the 400 follower mark, but we were close. Um, a lot of them followers did come in. I found a lot of my success and viewership and streaming in general whenever I was doing when I had my time on the Grand Theft Auto roleplay on the RP scene. If anyone's familiar with it, it's good fun. Very consuming, very time consuming, and you're trapped in almost like two worlds. Uh, my boy Jordy Scanlad knows all about it. I think I eventually got to the stage where he was at, where it was like, right, okay, I'd step away from it. Um, so yeah, that was kind of like the Bappercat brand as such, if I want to call it that for the sake of this video. Um, I did sort of almost solidify my name doing that more than anything. I had been dabbling with just um, streaming anything that I was wanting to, whether that was Destiny, Fort. I was going to say Fortnite, but I don't know if I ever done this Fortnite streams, to be honest. Destiny, I think I've done a bit of Escape from Tarkov, Rocket League, a little bit, Lost Ark, Warframe. Trying to think if there was anything else that I really like dived into. Obviously the RP, the GTA. Um, More recently, Black Ops 6. I was competing in a Call of Duty league based Northern Ireland, where I'm from. That kind of got me itching a wee bit to get back into the Call of Duty competitive, which some people may um, remember me. That's kind of how uh, that's where I originally came from. Right, was Call of Duty and the Call of Duty competitive scene. Not that I was ever any good at it, but it was always good fun, and you know getting to argue with your teammates about who wasn't holding the hill and why didn't you plant the bomb, blah blah blah. So yeah, this video will be my first video uploaded to my YouTube channel, bar the exception of one that I attempted a few years ago. I done like a reaction video for a Destiny 2 DLC release. Kind of my mindset at the time was that I was going to try and start reactionary content, which is something I'm a big fan of. It's something that I will probably take into what I'm planning on doing going forward. Yeah, that's just kind of the video that had to be done, right? I had to do this video. I had to hit the record button. I just had to say, right, this is it. I'm doing it. I've already been teasing today about, Bappercat and the return 2025 with a little time emoji, time glass. I don't have an official date as such. I just know that this is something that I'm looking to get myself back into before the end of the year. 2025 was a big year in my books. There's a whole story to that. That could be another video. Create more content. I do feel like I'm at a point in my life right now where like I do want to just get back to what I've always loved doing, and that is, I think it was this. I mean, if I was to talk to myself 15 years ago, I think this is kind of ideally where I would have wanted to be headed towards eventually. I'm 28 now. I was maybe 11, 12 whenever I was trying to start up and do YouTube and do whatever content I was doing then, which was sniping montages and joining sniping team commentaries. I used to love throwing myself in front of a camera and just waffling, just whatever. I was just young, new to the internet. Thought the YouTube stuff was real cool, and was a big fan of Optic Gaming. Would still say that I'm a fan. I'm not a big fan like I used to be. Like I used to follow all the content uh, as I've gotten older, kids, moving house, and just becoming an adult. Um, Eventually, I don't get to keep up with it all the same. More recently, I've been getting into the political stuff, which was never anything that I would have thought years ago. You asked me 10 years ago, like about politics, it would have been like, what even the hell is that? Um, so that's also stuff that I have planned down the line. Reactionary content, given my take on political issues, whether that's something that you could maybe find yourself enjoying, hearing what I have to say about certain issues. That is all to come, hopefully. And yeah, going forward, I plan on getting my streams back up and going. I just want to be able to do what I want to do. Learn editing along the way. It was always an excuse of mine whenever I was streaming the GTA. At least it was the GTA that I remember, because there was so much content that I could have been gathering from my streams, and it was an excuse that the time consumption, which it was very time consuming, because I maybe had streamed for a 5 or a 6 hour session, and then having to go back 5-6 hours, watching it through, watching myself, seeing if there was anything that sort of I found was entertaining. There was some clips that I was able to grab, but the original idea was I wanted to make stream highlight videos. That was one thing that I had in mind whenever I first started streaming. and was like, right, I'm really going to try focus on this. I knew that the content had to follow as well, and it couldn't just be streams. And then I ended up just leading myself down this path of just hitting the go live button. People would have came into the stream, what's up, talking. Um, but I never fully went through with trying to grab as much content as I could from my streams, which then led me to uh, at least knowing that there was certain things that I was doing that was entertaining, but uh, I just wasn't going through with it, which is the main point right there. And this time round, this is something that I'm looking to um, get right this time. So I think I've kind of covered pretty much everything. This is kind of my, like I said, my first video. Get myself back in front of the camera, talking. I would, um, I would say that you can expect more content like this. I think now that I've actually done this and hit the record button tonight, as late as it is, it's near 3 o'clock in the morning. Uh, so yeah, I will generally probably find myself um, this type of content is, going to be more up my street because uh, it's not necessarily having to go through my streams. It's just it could be something I might see uh, on YouTube and be like, oh, I want to react to that, and give people my raw take on whatever I'm watching. Um, yeah. So I mean, we're uh, still at the beginning of August, and uh, there is some games there at the minute on the horizon that I'm fairly interested in. Soulframe. If nobody knows what Soulframe is, it's kind of like well, it's the same developers of Warframe, which is a game that I was playing there for a few months pretty heavily. The developers from that, the CEO of Digital Extremes, wanted to make a new game, and so they've come up with Soulframe. It's like a open world, Elden Ring, Dark Souls meshed in with like that Warframe feeling that keeps everyone playing Warframe. So, Battlefield 6 has just not long been announced. It's currently in its open beta. Not something. I mean, I'll possibly try get round to playing. Maybe I don't. It's this weekend, and if they extend it, it might give me an extra day possibly to consider and download it and get a couple of hours on it. If not, I'll play that on release. Um, I think that's probably about it though. Um, I was going to possibly like go more in depth on this video, but there's honestly so much that I'm probably better off breaking down into more videos. Or if anyone has any questions, you can drop comments or any video ideas, anything you would like to see from me. Like throw a suggestion, and I'll certainly consider depending on what it is, and we can go from there. So, with that being said, guys, I have returned. Papacat has returned. No, let's not end on that. That's silly. Yeah. So, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube. If you want to contact me in any way, the best way to get a hold of me is through my X account, Twitter, at Bappercat. Link will be in the description. And yeah, so with that being said, guys, I will catch you on the next video. And that could be on YouTube, that could be on TikTok, or it could just be see me live back on Twitch again, and that's where we'll go from here. All right. So with that, God bless, and peace. See you later.